Max, a computer engineer, gets an unusual smartphone that starts sending him strange messages. At first, they seem harmless, guiding him to good investments and big wins. But soon he realizes these messages come from a dangerous source, and his life is in danger. As Max digs deeper, he uncovers a massive conspiracy involving advanced technology, powerful people, and deadly secrets that threaten everything he holds dear. The story started with Max, a computer engineer, who was finishing his work in Thailand and preparing to return home to the USA. After a long day at work, he returned to his hotel. When he arrived, the receptionist handed him a package from an unknown sender. Max opened it and found an advanced, cutting-edge smartphone inside. At first, he didn't think much of it and set the phone aside. However, things took a strange turn when the phone rang, displaying a message saying that hotel prices would be 50% off for the weekend. Max checked with the receptionist, who confirmed the offer. Taking advantage of the discount, Max decided to extend his stay in Thailand for 2 more days. That evening, Max saw a news report about the plane he had originally planned to board. The report revealed that the plane had crashed, and there were no survivors. A cold shiver ran down Max's spine as he realized that if he had not extended his stay, he would have been on that plane. It was then that he received another message on his phone, advising him to invest in Sizer Company's shares, which would surely bring him profit. Max didn't pay attention to it, but later when he returned to his hotel room and turned on the TV, he saw that Sizer's shares had skyrocketed, and investors had made a fortune. Max was stunned and regretted not following the phone's suggestion. The next day, Max was about to fly back to the USA when another message appeared, instructing him to go to Prague. Without any hesitation, Max changed his flight plans and decided to go to Prague instead. However, when he tried to check who had sent the messages, he found there was no record of the sender on his phone. After arriving in Prague, Max took a taxi to the Empire Hotel, as the message had instructed. The taxi driver, named Yuri, complimented Max on his phone, calling it the most advanced model and explaining that it hadn't been released on the market yet. Yuri said he was from Russia and had technical expertise, offering to help Max with any phone-related issues. Once at the hotel, Max tried to find out who had sent him the package by contacting the shipping company. However, the company refused to disclose any information due to its privacy policies. Soon, Max received another message on his phone, telling him to try his luck at slot 13 in the hotel's casino. When he got to the machine, however, there was already someone playing it. Max received another message saying that the 4th spin would be the jackpot. He tried to persuade the person playing the machine to switch spots, offering him 20 euros, claiming to be superstitious about the number 4. The person didn't care and continued playing. Just before the 4th spin, Max raised his offer to 100 euros, and the person agreed to give up the spot. Max sat down, pressed the button, and won a staggering $300,000 on his first try. The casino manager, John, watched the events unfold through the security cameras and ordered his team to keep a close eye on Max. Just then, Max received another message telling him to move his winnings to the blackjack table. Max followed the instructions, betting everything on one hand of blackjack. Once again, the message was correct, and Max won big. John, still watching Max's impressive streak, noticed that Max was using his phone discreetly while playing. He sent one of his associates to inform Max that phones were not allowed in the casino. Despite winning big, Max was not satisfied. He wanted to win more, so he stepped outside the casino to contact Yuri, hoping he could find a way to receive messages without looking at his phone. Yuri agreed to help, but in exchange for 500 euros. Max agreed to pay the fee and decided to return to the casino while waiting for Yuri to arrive. Inside the casino, Max saw a drunken man trying to force himself on his girlfriend. Max stepped in to help, but the man punched him, knocking him unconscious. It turned out this was all a setup. The man and the woman were part of a scheme to distract Max so that they could clone his SIM card and trace the mysterious messages he was receiving. When Max woke up, the man was gone, but the woman, named Camila, was still there. She introduced herself, and Max began to flirt with her. However, their conversation was interrupted when Yuri called, asking to meet Max outside the casino. Meanwhile, John's team tried to trace the messages on Max's SIM card, only to find that there was no record of them anywhere in the world. Outside the casino, Max met Yuri, who gave him a pair of text-to-speech Bluetooth earbuds. These would allow Max to listen to the messages without looking at his phone. Max was amazed by the technology, especially considering it was the year 2009. Armed with the new device, Max returned to the casino and placed a bet on a machine with a $3 million prize. John, sensing Max's confidence, immediately ordered security to watch him closely. Once again, Max won, but this time, security chased him down. As he tried to escape, Max was confronted by FBI agent Grant, who took him into custody. John arrived at the scene, claiming that Max was the casino's concern, but Grant warned him to stay out of it. It turned out that John had once been an FBI agent and had a history with Grant. Grant took Max to an abandoned building and interrogated him at gunpoint about the phone and the messages. Max explained that he had just received the phone in a package and was trying to make some money using the information it provided. Grant, seeing the fear in Max's eyes, believed him. Shortly after, John arrived, prompted by the casino owner's request to investigate the recent losses. Realizing that John wasn't going to leave, Grant shared all the information with him. He explained that the FBI was working with the NSA to track down individuals who had made significant profits using the messages. Oddly, every person the FBI had tried to apprehend had died under mysterious circumstances. Fortunately for Max, he was already in custody, which kept him safe. Grant then told Max that the NSA had developed an advanced AI program called Echelon, which could read and track messages across the entire country. The plan was to use this program to trace the origin of the messages as soon as they arrived. While waiting at the hotel, Max received a call from Camila, who invited him to meet her at a local bar. Despite Grant's warning, Max decided to meet her. However, their time together was cut short when an FBI officer arrived and took Max back to the hotel. Grant then gave Max his phone and told him to follow the instructions of the next 3 messages. Max placed all his winnings as bets, but to his surprise, he lost everything this time. Shortly after, he received another message, warning that he would be killed if he turned off the phone. Just as Max was about to react, an FBI officer arrived and took the phone from his hand, turning it off. As the NSA's AI system Echelon began to trace the origin of the messages, the team was shocked to find that the source was Echelon itself. Brooke realized that someone had hacked the program and was using it to send messages. He ordered the mission to be shut down and instructed everyone to abort. Later that night, Camila invited Max to her place where she cooked him dinner. They grew closer and eventually made love. The next morning, meanwhile, Grant received a new message with an address on it. Instead of sending Max, he sent one of his agents to the location with the phone. Just as the agent arrived, another message came through, directing him to cross the road. Tragically, the agent was killed in a fatal accident while crossing the road, a fate that had been intended for Max. Grant, shaken by what he witnessed, retrieved the phone only to receive another message telling him to surrender Max or face fatal consequences. Max continued to dig deeper into the Echelon program and discovered that the NSA could not only access citizens' messages, but also tap into surveillance cameras across the country. He shared this with Camila, who spotted a sniper on a rooftop across the street. Camila quickly shoved Max out of harm's way, narrowly avoiding the bullet. She also noticed 2 men heading up the stairs to eliminate them. Camila locked Max in a room for safety and tried to arm herself with a gun, but the sniper shot her in the hand. Despite her injury, she managed to defend herself with an iron rod, knocking down one of the attackers. However, the second assailant broke in, and a fierce struggle ensued. Just when it seemed like all hope was lost, Max came to Camila's aid, and together, they overpowered the attacker, ultimately killing him. Max was stunned by Camila's combat skills and realized that she worked for John at the casino. As John arrived at Camila's house, he quickly drove Max to a secure location and explained that the NSA wanted Max dead because of the knowledge he had about Echelon. They were closing in on him, and John believed it was only a matter of time before they succeeded. John shared his own story. He had once worked for the FBI but had been recruited by the casino owner, who had connections to high-profile people, including members of the government and intelligence agencies. Over the years, he had secretly protected Max, realizing that the messages Max had been receiving were part of an elaborate game designed to test individuals and eliminate those who knew too much about Echelon. Now, John warned Max that the only way to survive was to disappear completely. Max had become too valuable to the wrong people. The NSA would stop at nothing to eliminate him, and no one could be trusted. To protect himself, Max had to disappear and start a new life with no trace of his former identity. The story ends with Max, unsure of his future, but aware of the deadly forces after him, preparing to leave everything behind and vanish into the shadows. The phone, now destroyed, had served its purpose, to bring him to this point of no return,